Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of Ron's Coverage. And today, I want to react to the recent statements by Grammy nominee winner Billie Eilish in regards to her statement stating that no one is illegal on stolen land. And all I gotta say is, her statement is halfway true. That this land was stolen by Christopher Columbus, and that demographic of people has conquered and colonized this land, which is the USA, centuries ago. Keyword, centuries ago. However, it is not true that no one is illegal, due to the fact that we have a different set of laws nowadays. Presently, we have a different set of laws. So that means her inference no longer applies. And she is trying to virtual signal for people to the far, far left, to people who is not educated about politics. So, have anyone ever asked this question? If this is stolen land, but she has a mansion in the Los Angeles area that's located in the area where the Tonga tribe inhabited. So why is she crying about stolen land if her mansion is on stolen land? And she also want to complain about ICE. Talking about fuck ICE. Okay, I guess that's another person who don't believe in law and order, who don't believe in the system of laws, who wants to dwell in the past just so she could virtual signal to the far left base. That's something that these celebrities like to do. They like to virtual signal to their far left base and, from the facility of the elite, from the facility of their mansion. So why virtual signaling, even though they live a good life? They rich, they live a good life, they live a better life than most people will ever live. They live a better life than most people will ever dream of. So why are they crying about it? Because they want a virtual signal to the far left base who's not educated. That's all this Hollywood actresses and actors and singers or whatnot. They always like to whine and complain because I know what it is. They pushing the agenda of the Democrats, the liberals. They pushing their agenda. They getting paid to push that agenda so they could appeal to that Hollywood audience who's not educated about politics. Another demographic. So the Democrats are using them as propaganda to expand their political base. I got noticed that Democrats always try to appeal to people who don't know much about politics, who is not informed about politics whatsoever. Why is it the Democrats always trying to virtue signal to them? I understand why. Because they know they're easier to persuade. They're more likely to be emotional. That's why. And when somebody is consumed with emotion, then they're not thinking clearly. And it's easier to manipulate them. Contrary to people like me who's more informed. Somebody like me, you can't manipulate me with that nonsense, even though it's halfway true. Keyword halfway. Again, we live in a nation now that has a different set of laws than it was during those times. Actually, during those times, there were no laws. That's why these settlers was able to come here and occupy this land, because there were no laws. So now they want to advocate for open border policies, something that will enable another group of people to come in and do the same thing. They're saying all this from the comfort of their mansion, of their Hollywood mansion, and their little facilities, these award shows, the Oscars and the Grammys. They say that from the comfort of these rich facilities that is managed and administered by the elite. And the Democrat Party like to act like they're not the party of the elite, when yet you're galvanizing the elite and pushing their agenda. Again, they're using these Hollywood actors, actresses, and singers to push their agenda so they can expand their voter base. And also that's probably why the Democrats don't mind having 15 million illegals come into the country, because they want to expand their voter base and enable them to vote. That's why they're against voter ID laws. Nobody ever thought about that, right? And the census, and the census has a higher population than it's supposed to, because of the influx of illegals that entered this country under the Biden administration. So that's the thing. Nobody ever think to, especially these uneducated people who they're trying to appeal to, nobody ever thought to use their mind, to use their head, and say, why are these people virtual signaling? And they don't understand the dynamics of PR and political chess. So this is a political chess move by the Democrats. I mean, I'm not knocking it. Do what you gotta do to push your agenda. I'm saying this objectively. But I just find it ironic that these people say this from the comfort of these facilities that is owned and operated by the elite. So, yeah, like Kevin O'Leary said, just shut up and entertain, because this is not their expertise. This is not their realm of expertise. So just shut up and sing. Like Kevin O'Leary says, shut up and entertain. That's a message for all these Hollywood actors and actresses and singers. Just shut up and entertain, because this is not your field. Leave that to people like me who know what they're talking about. All right, telling half truths, but don't want to acknowledge the laws that are currently on the books. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all for today, guys. And I will catch y'all in my next video. You like this video? Hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I will catch y'all in my next video. Peace.